Share away. Share away to wherever
Alright.
you guys want to share. Bigay ko sa ano natin, sa Twitch natin. Galing ni Shane ng followers sa sa Twitch. How many followers do you
Nakakatawa nga
have?
kasi hindi ako nag-open ng mic kasi nahiya ako. I think I have 46, 46,
Wow,
45,
galing.
mang ganon.
Galing.
Napastop nga ako mag-stream.
Alright, wait lang. We're... Once si Jackie nagpa-vaccine na. Anyway, that we should be talking about now, personal stuff. We're live on Twitch with... So... hala,
Dapat yung title pala natin, Steven, Puro Pop Fever, as we said. So, that's pretty much a series right there. Wait lang. I'm sharing...
Ano na ba? May nanonood na ba?
I almost shared
there
it
are
to the wrong
two
group.
people right at the moment.
I almost shared
watching.
it to the wrong group, Steven.
Wrong group?
Yeah, medyo... I would have gotten kicked out of that group kung shinare ko.
Gandang group ba to?
Kasi, no, it's a gaming thing. They're pretty strict. So, kapag gaming related, if it's not gaming related, I'm gone. So, good thing I
very
was
strict
reading.
sila.
Yeah, there are a lot of groups that if you post the wrong thing, I remember doing that. Now I don't have access to that group anymore. Forever.
Sad. Pero sometimes nga yung mga ganyan masyadong strict din,
Kind of, yeah.
But I get on one genre. I wonder who the two people are watching right now. Let's check the comments.
Yeah, for a bit. I'm sharing to various
I miss watching live wrestling. It's been so long.
Oh yeah. Honestly, that's one thing I think we all miss. Like just cheering your guts out. Losing your voice by the end of the...
OMG, si Jackie comment.
Hi, Jackie!
Hello. And...
Sabi niya... Wait lang. Let's wait for the comments to load. Sabi niya, yes, I got vaccinated.
Congrats!
Sabi ni Yils. Sabi ni Jackie, hi baby, love you. Said to Shane. Yes, to Shane.
Love
that
you.
Is nice. All right. I think we're ready to go. Jude, can you read the comments on Facebook?
Yeah.
Since medyo nagdala ko Facebook ko. All right.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried rin na magawa ko siya, but no. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 76 of the GEEKYJUANS podcast, a podcast where we cover anything geeky under the sun, from wrestling to movies to video games and beyond. The GEEKYJUANS is here to talk about it. I'm Steven, right below me is Jude. Today's show is all about Japanese professional wrestling, but it's not New Japan Pro Wrestling. Today's show is all about CyberFight Festival, Hana Kimura's Memorial Show, and more. To help explain the world outside of New Japan Pro Wrestling, we have next to me, to my left of the screen, Shane Vergara, wrestling superfan, and Puroresu influencer.
Wow! Di naman.
I mean, okay. Anyway.
Puro superfan.
Shane,
thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for dropping by.
Thank you so much for joining.
Sabi nga na isang mutual friend natin, si Jackie, mentioned how naunahan pa namin yung wrestling podcast to get you as a guest. Which was very surprising. I really thought na naging guest ka na sa kind of stand and row. I thought by now, you would have been a guest by then.
I know. I think naging plans kaso nagka-lockdown and all that. So, ewan ko. It never pushed through, I guess.
Okay. All right. So, anyway, tell us a little bit more about yourself, Shane. How did you fall in love with Japanese wrestling outside of New Japan? Because I think for a lot of us, New Japan is our gateway
It's
to
the
Japanese
gateway.
pro
But
wrestling.
yeah, but you
So for
can
Shane na lang.
start wherever.
Mm.
Let's see. Kasi I have heard of other Japanese wrestling companies like way beforehand pa. Kasi I follow a lot of people on Twitter, so like I get to see a variety of wrestling. Tapos I think I completely went into other company na was like around 2019. So I went to Japan first time back in August to watch the G1 with a friend. Tapos
Mm.
on our last day, we went drinking sa DDT bar. So ayun, we met a couple of wrestlers nun. I think there was a special event kasi may unlimited noodles for
Oh,
like
sa
for like 1,000 yen. Tapos like unlimited noodles and then you get to hang out with the wrestlers. Tapos there was this one wrestler who really stood out to me. Kasi nakukitan ako sa kanya. So like his name is Akito. He's from DDT Pro Wrestling.
Mm.
From during that time, he's a member of All Out. So I have heard of DDT kasi I like Mike Bailey. So I follow his
Speedball.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
follow his career a bit. Tapos I never really got into DDT that much at that time. Like I just see things like yung mga GIFs sa Twitter, yung makikita mo yung pool wrestling and all that. Pero I never really got into it na pumasok talaga ako at nag-subscribe until I met Akito. So like, after I got home from that trip, nag-subscribe ako to TTT. As, ayun it's like falling into a rabbit hole.
Mm. So kasama din ba dyan, learning to appreciate things like Noah and Ganbara and TJPW? Like, did entering DDT expose you to the rest of the CyberFight family tree? Parang ganun.
Did you go
Yeah.
deeper into the puro rabbit hole, so to speak?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, kasi at that time when I came into DDT, wala pa yung Noah. So like
Mm.
I wasn't that exposed pa. Like I've seen siguro 2 or 3 matches from it because of Chris Ridgway. Pero I wasn't following it and I think medyo mahirap pa noon kasi i-follow ang Noah. I think recently lang sila na nagkaroon ng mga streaming and all that, yung mga free shows sa Abema and all that.
Mm.
Tapos, ayan, I got into TJPW and GanPro kasi I keep doing backlogs on wrestling kasi I really like knowing the history of the certain people I stan. So, ayun nga, si Akito from All Out. So, I went back to when he started the group, which was like 2017. So, ayan, I have watched every show na from going 2017 when it started to like sometime around 2018 pa lang ngayon. And I've been doing it for a year.
Oh my god, that's
Nice.
like a deep dive.
Yeah.
Oh
That
man.
was, since super dami ng shows nila and DDT like does shows with others, I got exposed to other wrestlers. So, along the way, I've got into Ice Ribbon a bit. Tapos, TJPW, since they also do shows with them, yung Wrestle Peter Pan, and then Ganpro, Basara, and ayun nga, recently lang, Noah.
That's nice. Tapos, ano ba yung na-mention mo dati when we were when we were watching hockey with our friend Ria. You mentioned how you've met a few wrestlers last year, tama ba? Was it last year before the pandemic you were able to like meet a few wrestlers from TJPW tsaka DDT, tama ba?
Yeah. So I went to Japan nung February, like way before lockdown. I think mga 2 or 3 weeks bago mag-lockdown here. I spent a week in Japan. Tapos I was with my brothers originally kasi most of the trip I was alone nanonood ng wrestling. So I went to see TJPW, NJPW, Gotta Move, Stardome, and DDT.
Wow.
Pretty much a wrestling pilgrimage.
Nice.
Yeah.
One trip. No, that was actually great.
Yeah,
So,
so
Yeah.
super fun kahit mag-isa. Medyo naliligaw lang ako. Pero there were a couple of Japanese fans naman na tumutulong and some young boys. Ganun. Like sa DDT shows, they have a young boy from Australia, I think, si Jordan.
Wow.
He went back home na, pero
Mm.
he made his debut last year. Tapos he was mostly helping me during my stay there.
That's nice. That's nice. All right. Tapos, now that we know your Japanese wrestling story, Jude, do you watch Japanese wrestling outside of New Japan?
Um, actually, bits and pieces. Like
Mm-hmm.
every now and then I check some DDT matches. Although I'm kind of invested on the DDT Iron Man heavy metal weight belt, kasi
Mm.
I'm just curious on how I'm just curious on the results. Parang whenever I see the result, wait, how? Parang I like but although one thing I like when I explored, like Noah and all Japan, it's the history of Japanese professional wrestling, because it's like Japanese professional wrestling promotions like branched out, diba? It's like
Mhm.
the reason why most of them started is because one wrestler decided to create his own promotion. So
Yeah.
Mm.
that was like awesome. Like Noah is pretty much the biggest example for that,
Yeah.
because Noah was like an exodus from all Japan. So
Mm.
that was really cool. I've been recently watching some older Noah. Like I got curious on like when Minoru Suzuki invaded Noah
Mm.
with
That was an
Suzuki Gun. So
interesting time.
that was really interesting. It's like Suzuki holding the title hostage was a fun moment. And it was I kind of enjoyed that one. Yeah, and but yeah, for the most part, yeah, DDT and Noah is something that I've still yet to go to delve into a bit more.
Mhm.
Joshi is something that I really have to commit time to, because I have a feeling that that would be a huge rabbit hole that I would put myself into at some point,
Yeah.
Mm.
I
because
think
it's really
easily
interesting.
the easiest promotion to get kapag Joshi is either Choco Pro right now and TJPW. I think you can just like jump in from anywhere there and go from where you started to the present.
That would be that would probably be my starting point, and then you'll see me like spend hours and hours watching, so that's gonna be
Mm.
fun. So yeah.
All right. As for myself, are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So as for myself, I kind of got curious yun nga, around the time nga na bumalik yung Suzuki Gun from Noah. And I was wondering parang who's this Suzuki Gun? And then like, I started to like learn about other companies outside.
Mhm.
And then yung TJPW, I just stumbled upon it kasi nga I learned about Maki Ito. Kasi nga sobrang compelling yung story niya.
Yeah.
Na like I remember one time I was just like reading up on Maki Ito, and then I saw the one little promo she did outside of a Fukuoka Convention Center. Yung parang nasa sidewalk lang siya
I
promoting her
think
show.
yeah.
Kasi 'di ba ano daw siya, if she doesn't sell like an X amount of tickets, she's out of the idol group.
She's a very
Tapos
hard worker.
sobrang hard worker niya. As in, sobrang committed niya. She did a promo against a piece of paper. Very few wrestlers can do that. American or Asian, it doesn't matter what kind of wrestler you are.
It's like it's
Parang
even some
very
people find it difficult to do a promo in front of a mirror. So that's
imagine, di
good.
ba? Imagine. And then Maki Ito was able to do with a piece of paper pinanood ko sa YouTube. I think I saw it. I tried line, but ang hirap sa line. Ang daming region block sa line. So it's so
Mm,
difficult to watch anything line. Like, kung magla-line live si Camille or something, wala. Like, very impossible mahanap yun unless mag-desktop ka or whatever.
yeah.
But yun, going back to Maki Ito's line live promo, a fan I think was just recording her online live. Parang for fun lang. And then I think sobrang sobrang sumikat siya because of that na she was able to sell the 1,000 tickets or something.
She was going everywhere. As in, I think pati sa DDT, she would go in and
Oo.
tried selling her tickets there.
And then somehow parang she became even more popular as a wrestler than as an idol. Na parang
Yeah,
I think she
kasi
realized, go ahead.
kasi she even stands up against guys, which is funny
Mm.
kasi nung sa 2018 shows na I've watched, he would stand up to guys like Kota Umeda, who is like super scary.
Hmm. Ayun. Tapos, besides Maki Ito, I learned about yung mga ibang wrestlers like Miyu Yamashita. And then, around that same time, kasi si Su Young was appearing in TJPW. And
Yeah.
kasi Su Young, full-time siya sa Impact. And then
Yeah.
I remember she had a match with Yuka Sakazaki. Tapos, parang pinahiga siya ni Yuka sa isang mesa. Tapos, sinipa yung mesa pababa ng hagdanan. So, nagsaslide si Su Young, tapos biglang huminto si Su Young at one point, and then he repeated the whole thing. And ang advantage, I think, talaga ng TJPW and DDT is that kahit may serious matches sila, they can still do, like, even though,
comedy spots, yeah.
comedy spots talaga. Pero, I think the fact na yun nga, like, Su Young is very, like, into method acting. I mean, come on, the Susan character,
Yeah.
Suzy, like, mga ganun. Parang, yung little minor mishap na, ay, huminto yung table sa stairs, sa gitna ng stairway. Okay lang, let's do it again. Like, okay, sige, let's do it again. Parang mga ganun. Parang that's where I discovered yung Sakazaki through that match with Su Young. And it's a free match, I think, sa YouTube ng DDT.
Yeah.
Or
TJPW and DDT like uploads match every Thursday for free. Like to get more people introduced to the brand then.
Oh, that means that's something I'll be watching.
Yeah.
You just have to use Google Translate.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
There's a couple of free matches then, and if you're interested, there's someone who does the translations, Mr. Haku.
Have you met him?
Yeah, actually.
Nice. Oh, grabe. Dami mong 6 degrees of separation to DDT Pro Wrestling. Which
Like, kasi, ang funny kasi is like I didn't meet him at a DDT show. I met him while I was watching Gato Move. Nagkataon lang na I was a bit late to the show kasi medyo nagugulahan pa ako sa times doon. Tapos sa phone lang ako nagbe-base ng time. And nung una, I came in early. So like I had to wait to get tickets muna. So I went to a Starbucks nearby. Tapos when I came back, marami na yung tao. So I was by the door. Tapos ayun, nung at one entrance, I think, kasi have you guys seen Ichigaya Chocolate Square? It's super small.
Not yet. Wait, are we talking about the actual place where God to Move wrestles?
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
yung blue room, the small
Yeah.
blue room. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that several times.
Yeah. Sa Choco Pro. So I was by the door and it's like super small lang, diba? So by the door, dun yung entrance ng wrestler. And during one entrance, pagkatingin ko sa likod ko, nandun si Mr. Haku. Tapos parang kami nagkalakihan na lang din kami na mata. Parang, oh, hi!
Nice. Tapos, ano ba? What were we gonna talk? Oh yeah, besides TGPW, I also started watching Noah kasi libre sa Abema. So yun nga, through your retweets and scenario, mga ganun, we got some really fun stuff that aired sa Abema. Like na-surprise ako, parang, oh, so that's where Jurina Matsui is now. Kasi parang dati, di ba,
She was with NJPW.
Yeah, exactly. Parang ever since Kenny Omega left, parang Jurina's no longer doing mga NJPW shows. Palagi na siya nasa Noah ngayon.
Yeah.
To the point na, di ba, I think last month lang ba nangyari, yung parang may concert si Jurina Matsui or something, some kind of graduation concert.
Yeah.
Tapos nandun si Marufuji, nandun si Hayata. Tama ba? O si Yohei ba?
It was Yohei.
Yeah, Yohei, Kaito, Marufuji, and there's one more. Masa? No.
Wait, sino nga ba yan nandun? I can't remember.
Yeah, basta there was like four wrestlers from DDT and DJP Noah. Tapos the song was about abs or something.
She counted Taito's abs on
Sobrang
stage.
random. Sobrang random. She just brought the wrestlers with abs sa concert. Tapos sobrang random talaga. Parang like those things you never see New Japan do because we're too big for that or something. Pero parang very interesting.
Or I think it's the Steven. Like
Mhm.
all Japan, Noah and New Japan are pretty much similar in presentation. They're serious. Like
Ah,
every
Mm.
no,
unless
Noah
unless
kasi
there's
din
a
is serious eh.
yeah
Yeah,
unless there's a
Noah's not
story
super
running.
serious.
Yeah,
Mm.
but oh yeah, I like to note now my first exposure to Joshi was Chris Wolf. Yun na lang.
Mm.
That
Oh.
was
Aw.
like she was my entry point to knowing. Oh wait, that exists. So tapos
Mm.
it's just that was fun, and I also got to read up her story, and that was really interesting.
Grabe, no? The whole journey of Chris Wolf happened just because she broke up with her like ex-boyfriend or something, or fiance.
Yeah, fiance,
Tama
and
ba?
then
Yeah.
she became an
Wrestler.
English teacher in Japan. Tapos that somehow became a road to her becoming a professional wrestler, and that was
Galing.
amazing.
Mm.
She's so
Like,
good ba?
mm. Man, she was like part of like the peak of Oedo Tai. Pero
Yeah.
that's for later na. Um, Before we continue, I wanted to talk about our Comixology $10 giveaway that's not
So
sponsored by Amazon. Help us reach 1,000 likes on Facebook by liking our page and mentioning one comic book artist that we have featured on our podcast. It could be Miguel Mercado, it could be Fred Corder, it could be so many others that we have featured on this podcast. If you want to do a simpler process to enter the contest, we are giving away a second gift card on Twitch by helping us reach 100 followers. So when you do that, just follow us on Twitch and you're automatically entered into the raffle. We will see your name on the followers list anyway. So again, this giveaway is not sponsored by Amazon and it's a $10 gift card. All right, moving on. Let's move on to the main event of the show, which is
cyber
CyberFight Festival.
The
Now,
first
Shane,
ever.
could you give us, Shane, a backstory of why CyberFight Festival is such a big show for those unaware?
Okay, so CyberFight Festival. There has been tease about this like for ever since the Noah and DDT merge happened.
Mhm.
When they joined in, tas it became CyberFight. There were teas about it na they wanted to do a big Tokyo Dome show, pero COVID, so
Mm.
um, it's a really big show that will showcase the promotions under CyberFight Festival.
Mm. Nice. Now, who exactly started this? Was it Takagi or was it Marufuji or like was it really like a partnership among all the heads of the companies?
I think it's a partnership kasi Takagi is like the president of CyberFight, and then
Ah,
there's two EVPs sa side ng DDT, which is Akito, and then
mm.
for Noah's side, that's Marufuji.
Mm. All right. So now that we're mentioning these names, these top names, can you give us like a quick explainer about who these people are? Let's start with DDT Sanshiro Takagi.
Okay, so Sanjiro Takagi is like one of those comedy wrestlers. He's been around for so long. Para siyang parody ni Stone Cold. You watch his matches.
Okay. Hmm.
oh
So,
man,
um, his theme song is like from Mortal Kombat. Yung scooter. So like when his song hits, everyone would pop. As in, he's super cool.
Hmm.
Tapos, one of the things I like about Takagi is yung mga matches niya for the Extreme Belt. So he likes to do this weapons rumble match. So familiar tayo with the Royal Rumble, pero sa
Yeah.
kanila they have these matches na weapons rumble. So like they choose the weapon tapos randomly it would enter. So they can use those weapons to their advantage. So
Hmm.
pada dito Lego set, toilet toilet. There's
Hmm.
a lot of weapons na, and one of the most notable matches for me ni Takagi was his match against Dino. Someone you might be familiar with.
A
So
little bit familiar, yeah. Danjo Cudino, yeah.
yeah, so Dan Chocodino is like gay wrestler. So if
Hmm.
you're at the DDT show and you're a guy, you can probably expect to get kissed by him. He kisses random audience, pero that kind of
Mm.
stopped since COVID. So,
Mm. Mm.
if now ka lang manonood ng DDT, he would stare you down to control himself.
Mm. Mm. Tapos next up, let me just another one of the big names of CyberFight that I think might be familiar with some listeners or viewers of the podcast. It is Naomichi Marufuji. Who
Oh yeah.
is Marufuji?
Marufuji, super great wrestler. As in, one of my favorites. Sobrang galing niya. Like, some of the moves you have seen in the US na you might think it's cool, pero you might find out later on na, oh, they kind of got it from Marufuji. He's just that good.
Mm.
Tapos, he is, technically, he's one of the original Noah people.
Mm.
So he has been with them through legit thick and thin. He's he's really good, and one of his notable matches for me that I've seen is his match against Go Shiozaki from last year lang.
Oh my god.
That's really good. Yeah.
Tapos, sorry, go ahead, Jude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah. Marufuji. Like whenever I think one of the first Noah people I've seen is Marufuji. It's like damn. It's like watching him is just so smooth. Like,
Mhm.
it's like there's I think when he got a bit older, he got a mix of high flying, his usual high flying
Mhm.
because he was a junior heavyweight, and then eventually when he was in like the mid 2010s, he gained a bit of a more grounded, powerful move set, and it was
Mhm.
just fun. I watched his match against Suzuki, and that was like, oh yeah, okay, this is a guy that yeah, I understand why I think a lot of people wanted to get his moves, like wanted to try out, like especially in the states,
Yeah.
because
Sky spread, diba?
just so good. Yeah, sliced bread. Is it sliced
Brian
bread? Yeah,
Kendrick's finisher is actually invented by Marufuji, tama ba?
I think so. Basta
yeah, and then
most of the indie scene is like highly influenced by Marufuji. He's like just that good.
yeah, it's
Mm.
so fun to watch. But yeah, yeah, that's my opinion of Marufuji.
Okay.
Really, one
Siguro,
of the all-time Noah greats.
Mhm.
siguro one of the best comparisons I could probably put Marufuji in is he's like the Hiroshi Tanahashi of Noah.
Yeah. That's
He
one
Yeah,
was
way.
like literally yun nga through thick and thin nga as Shane mentioned. Talagang
Mhm. He never
if we're
left kasi.
talking, yeah, exactly. But he never left. Kenta left. Go
Yeah.
Shiozaki left.
And he came back.
It's diba? Came back, got better, but like still crazy. Still
Yeah.
wrestling with injured arms.
Yeah.
Um, but like si Marufuji talaga was really there to like keep the whole company afloat. Kasi nga,
Mhm.
let's just admit na Noah has not been in the best condition for the longest time.
Yeah.
There had been some financial issues that we cannot really mention because, well, we can't
oh
mention that word. We can't
yeah.
mention that word. Yun. What else? You did mention that si Akito is the head sa
EVP.
BGW ba? Sorry?
EVP of DDT
EVP.
side.
Okay. So who is Akito?
Akito is like one of those low-key wrestlers. He's really good naman. Pero
Mm.
like he never really got much of the spotlight. Pero one of his notable matches would be against Asuka or Veni.
Oh.
So he's really good. He's a technical wrestler. One of my favorites currently.
Mm.
Yung match niya against Asuka was like really good. Na it was for the Extreme Belt. So the Extreme Belt is like the champion like gets to choose a certain stipulation. Pwedeng hardcore, pwede din na regular match to defend the belt. So
Mm.
what made his defense against Veni like really notable was diba in Japan it's very famous na there are light tube matches.
Yeah.
na, oh, we're gonna hit each other with light tubes and try to kill each other for the belt. Yan. So the thing with Akito is he's scared of hardcore matches. And he's holding the extreme belt. So ang rules niya is he would sa entire match na yon, there is only one light tube. And then to win it, before the match started, they had explanations muna na parang, okay, so whoever breaks the light tube loses.
Yeah, I think I saw that match one time.
So like they have to like be super careful kasi whoever is like holding the light tube, and like if you use it as a weapon like against the person, you hit it, and if it breaks, you lose. Diba, light tubes are like super mahuna lang naman na if you hit it against something, it will easily break.
That's another way to create an extreme match.
Yeah. So
because okay, for context, I think I was watching Dark Side of the Ring a while ago this morning, and then I saw how light tubes work in a death match.
yeah.
I was pretty squeamish. Like I'm one of those people who still can't handle watching a complete death match yet. But yeah, it's if there's a light tube match where the goal is not to break a light tube, I would love to see that.
It's actually free on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Now,
so
once
yeah,
again,
give it a
rabbit
view.
Yeah. All right, now let's move on to the main show of CyberFight Festival. Wait, sorry. Before we start with CyberFight Festival, Jude, is there anyone in the comments that are dropping by?
Oh, well, Derv is saying, Derv is also putting a shout out to Jake Lee from AJPW because
Yes.
he just won the was that Champions Carnival?
I think yun
Okay,
yeah,
Champions
I think it was,
Carnival. So this guy is on the route to becoming their Triple Crown champion, and Suwama has been their champion for quite a while, for a year now, more than a year. So there.
I don't
And
follow EJPW that much, pero Jake Lee is such a big name that he would like appear on the timeline, and it's a plus fact na he's like super handsome. So like easy for girls to get into.
yeah, very no. Yeah, very yeah. Even though I don't follow AJP though, yeah, I always see him. I
Diba?
always see him.
He's
Like,
really good. It's like I think
guy is
this
like
is
big ham
yeah.
in the timelines. One comment, speaking of death matches. Oh yeah, you guys saw that Nick Gage. Yeah, I just saw that episode, Martin. Yeah, that Nick Gage episode from Dark
Gosh.
Side of the Ring. That took me a week to just like I'll finally watch it. I have mentally prepared for this. I can handle light tubes and glass panes and blood.
All right, so
So
now
yeah.
let's move on to the main card of CyberFight Festival. The first match is a pre-show match, a 10-man tag team match featuring B-Star, the team of Mirai Mayumi and Suzume, Arisu Endo, Haruna Neko, Moka Miyamoto, versus a blank, supposedly X,
X.
Mahiro Kiryu, the usual tag team partner of Kamiyu because they went to the same university. Naokakuta, Pom Harajuku, and Raku. Now, is there any big name that we should be looking out for in this match, in the pre-show 10-man tag team match?
Okay, so for me, someone to watch out for is Mahiro Kiryu and then Pom Harajuku. So I may be biased kasi Pom Harajuku is like a fave of mine. Her shin kicks are to die for.
Nice.
Suzume is
Alright.
really good also. And and Mirai Mayumi, oh my god. I love Mirai Mayumi.
And this is a TJPW tag team match, diba? Tama?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then next one is a pre-show delayed entry battle royal, which sounds like a Royal Rumble without the whole
Delayed entry.
It's a Royal Rumble, no? Essentially.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's a battle royal na you can pin or like throw someone over the top rope.
And these are the really interesting names that are part of this. There's like 2 or 3 very interesting names. We have Yoshiaki Yatsu, Makoto Oishi, Yuji Hino, and then here are the more familiar names for me. Antonio Honda is one familiar name. Next up is Toru Owashi, Kazuki Hirata, and then Yuna Manase and Saki Akai are
Yeah.
also part of this match. For those unaware, Yuna Manase is technically a freelancer but still under TJPW, sort of. Tama ba?
She left TJPW and then went with Ganbare Pro Wrestling.
So technically speaking, under the DDT banner pa rin.
Yeah, she's still under CyberFight.
Okay.
And then she's like, I think one of her gimmick is that she's a plus size wrestler, but she doesn't look that plus size to me. I don't know if this is just me or what. I don't know.
I think it's more on the standards of Japan kasi
Yeah.
if you look at her peers, everyone is like petite, ganon. And then
like the person in my
he's-
background right now.
yeah.
being I think not being on the usual petite Japanese
Mhm.
size, is like different, already.
Let me see if I could share my screen. Kaya. Hindi kaya ba? Wait lang. Let's try sharing screen.
Fun fact lang about Manase. So like under DDT, like they do random shows. So like may mga produced by wrestlers, ganon. And one of the produce from a wrestler there is from Yumehito Imanari. He's from Ganpro. Tapos he did Pokari Joshi Pro Wrestling. Which is like
Pokari Joshi.
yeah. So
Pokari
like
Joshi.
I think it means plus size. So kasi his type in women is like plus size. So super crush niya si Manase. And they're like a big ship for like for my friends and I. Kasi super cute na ng dalawa. And sila din yung laging magka-tag team.
So this is a
Sounds
picture of
adorable.
Yuna Manase. Wait lang, let me just share my screen. So this is Yuna Manase. And like, she's not
Well, in terms
for
of
Japanese standards
in terms
gets
of
scope. Pero
Joshi,
Mm-mm.
so Joshi standard, she's probably one of the taller, one of the bigger competitors, one of the more powerful competitors in
Yeah.
general. So
parang interesting rin yung career niya, no? Parang kasi she's been from like what? Like from Stardom to DDT to ano diba? To like other to TJPW, and then like now she's in BJW, parang ganun. Like it's
pretty much
Yeah,
well
she's
traveled
everywhere.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And then the next one is probably the most familiar name for me, I think, is Saki Akai. Because diba, she's basically like wrestling is kind of like her side gig, tama ba? She's more of a mainstream actor, tama ba?
Model. She's a model.
More like a model. Parang kind of like the reverse of Camille. Si Camille kasi I think is more wrestler now, less model.
Yeah.
Parang ganun. And Saki Akai is more model, less wrestler. Pero Saki Akai is just such a good wrestler na
Yeah,
sobrang,
and she has been with the company like for so long. I think she has been there for almost 10 years.
wow.
Or she already hit the 10-year mark. I am not sure. Pero yeah, she has gone through so much. Tapos I think she's like the only Joshi na part of DDT. And she's always with sila Sakaguchi and Masa Takanashi, and then
they have a stable, right? What's their stable called again? Forgot their stable.
Yeah, their stable. The stable that broke up before was Shuten Doji, and currently she is with Eruption.
Yeah, Eruption. Like, I remember watching their street wrestling. Yung they actually literally wrestled sa streets ng isang shopping street. Tapos there was one time parang nag-post talaga sila buong match just to buy pancakes or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, sa Asakusa.
Yeah. Parang recently lang yun eh. I think earlier this year or like late last year.
I think it was December last year.
Yeah, December. Yung parang naka-full wrestling gear pa silang lahat.
Yeah.
In the middle of winter. Tapos biglang nag-post sila ng match just to buy parang some sort of pastry or pancake.
Yeah, I think it was strawberry something. Tapos binuli ni Sakaguchi si Hirata to buy him.
Yun nga, pero wala akong wallet. Look at me, wala akong wallet, di ba? Naka-wrestling gear siya, wala siyang wallet. parang nangutang na lang siya from like the cameraman or something.
Yeah.
Sobrang saya yung mga ganun eh. Pero anyway, Yusuke Okada, Shu Sakurai, and another ex versus Yuya Koroku. And mukhang very anything goes, no, sa Battle Royale na to.
Yeah. So I think you can use weapons then. And usually these are fun ones. So kasi ang usual holder ng Iron Man belt is Saki Akai. So whenever they do yung mga previous battle royals, it would be fun kasi makakakita ka ng exchange na the title will change tapos mamaya pati yung chair part na ng battle royal.
Oh man.
And then the chair becomes the champion.
Yeah, and the chair becomes champion.
Yes, that's what I want. Inanimate objects winning title belts.
Or the ladders. Tapos, yun. Next up is another pre-show 6. Grabe, ang daming matches ito. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's literally a festival.
I think
almost 100 sila sa buo. I think counting right now, they have 85 or 90 confirmed wrestlers.
Gosh. That's actually fun. Crazy. Like, if that's the best way to showcase everyone, I guess. There's no other way. It's beautiful.
Then this pre-show 6-man tag, Keisuke Ishii, Ken Oka, and Shota versus Koki Iwasaki, Shuichiro Katsumura, and Yumehito Imanari. Who should we be looking out for in this match, Shane?
Personally, Shota. Shota is really good. And then you have Ken Oka. Ken Oka also did recently lang death match for main event of GANPRO, which is available for free, by the way, sa sa Wrestle Universe. No subscription needed. Full show.
Nice.
Wow.
All right, now we move on to the main show. This will be a very, very interesting 6-man tag. I think this is Noah only. I'm not sure. This looks like one of their Young Lion matches.
It's DDT versus Noah.
Okay, DDT versus Noah. Kasi I know Kinya Okada is a... Tama ba? Is he like a Noah Young Lion until now?
Young boy, yeah.
Yeah.
I think technically he's still young boy.
Young boy pa rin siya. Yeah. Junta Miyawaki, Kinya Okada, and Yasutaka Yano is the Noah team versus the DDT team of Keigo Nakamura, Toi Kojima, and Yuki Ino. Who should we be looking out for in this one?
Okada is really good. Junta Miyawaki is also good. Tapos, personal favorite would be Yuki Ino, and then Toi Kojima. Nakamura is also someone to look out for if you like high flyers.
Is this like a young boy match talaga? Like a 6-man young boy match?
Yeah.
It's a dojo. It's a dojo showdown in that sense.
Nice.
Yeah. Si Ino lang is medyo, he's more of a... Ino has been graduated for like 2 years now or a year. He is a former member of All Out. So, ayun. Parang, I think he and Okada would have a really great matchup here.
Tapos, next one, we have a lot of 6-man tags.
Yeah.
Next 6-man tag is, I think this is purely Noah. Tama ba? Yeah, parang purely Noah to eh. Momo no Seishun, Atsushi Kotoge and Daisuke Harada, and Hajime Ohara versus Stinger, Hayata, Seiki Yoshioka, and Yoshinari Ogawa. I guess we could just focus on who these stables are.
Yeah.
Who is Momo no Seishun and who is Stinger?
Okay, so Momo no Seishun is like from Osaka Pro Wrestling pa sila. It was originally Kotoge and Harada. Tapos recently the group of Full Throttle had a big breakup. So Ohara was left alone. Yohei went with Sugiura Gun Juniors, if I'm correct, with Nosawa. And then Seiki Yoshioka joined Stinger during that betrayal.
And who are these stables exactly? Like, what's the backstory behind Stinger?
Stinger is it is run by Yoshinari Ogawa, who is like one of the top wrestlers for me in the junior division. So him and Hayata have a long history na, and they are former tag champs ng Noah then. Tapos they've been around since like 2019, if I am correct. One of their members is also Chris Ridgway.
Nice. From MLW, tama ba?
Yata. He now does Rep Pro, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Ooh, Daisuke Harada is a familiar name for me. I
How
think I
so?
might have encountered him in some juniors matches sa Noah.
Mm.
Just
Mm.
so yeah, fun guy for me to watch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, now here's the more, I think we're getting to the more familiar names when you get halfway through
Yeah.
because this last six-man tag, another six-man tag, features Maki Ito, Marika Kobashi, and Yuki Kamifuku versus Hikari Noa, Mizuki, and Yuki Arai, who is a former idol just like Maki Ito, who's just starting in wrestling. Shane, could you explain the story behind this six-man tag?
So far leading up to this kasi Yuki Arai had her debut recently lang. I think it was about a month ago lang against Maki Ito. And then they were having a little conflict na, oh, I'm the better idol turned wrestler.
Mm.
So dun sila nag-start. And of course, Ito won over Yuki Arai. And then she was telling na, oh, you're gonna be my rival, and then I want you to be better. And then this match was announced.
Nice, nice. Tapos, how did Maki Ito recruit her partners? Because I know she had a partnership with Camille before, pero parang that's more like them being real life friends talaga, di ba? Tama ba? That's why
Yeah,
parang,
Maki Yuki.
Maki Yuki
I
happy.
think Marika kasi din is part of their friendship. Kasi if you look at the TJPW, ang ano lang nila, ang main part ng stable is Neo Bishikigan.
Mm. And what
Which
is
is
Neo Bishikigan?
Neo Bishikigan naman is their heel stable, which has the little gremlin, not Mei Suruga,
Mm.
but looks like Mei Suruga, but she's not Mei Suruga.
Mm.
And then Saki-sama, who is not Saki
Not
Akai.
Saki Akai.
They just look alike, but they're not the same person apparently.
Oh man, okay, I remember that. All right, now, so it really is basically a battle of the idols.
Yeah.
Former idols. Well,
Yeah.
I
Yuki
looked
Arai, I
up
think,
Yuki
still is an
Arai.
idol.
She's AKB48.
Yeah.
That's actually really
Wow.
interesting.
Oh, that's big, huh?
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
big. That's
AKB48 member.
Yeah.
AKB48.
That's
I think one of the match pa here is like Kamiyu dropped the belt recently to Hikari Noa. So
true.
it makes sense na that they would be in that team.
Nice, nice. All right. Next up is a three-way tag team match. I think this is for the TJPW tag team belts. I'm not sure. Hyper Misao and Shoko Nakajima, a very interesting partnership, versus the Bakuretsu sisters. They're actual sisters, right? The Bakuretsu
They are.
sisters.
Yeah,
The
they are.
Dokotenma and Yuki Aino.
Mhm.
Versus Hakuchumu, a team of Miya Watanabe and the TJPW. Oh no, former champion ba? Tama ba?
Yeah.
Rika
former
Tatsumi
na.
is a former champion na.
Mm.
So, this matchup, it's sobrang oddball for me. The one team that's standing out for me is Hyper Misao and Shoko Nakajima. Kasi I think nung Tokyo Dome, like the January 4 show, Hyper Misao and Shoko Nakajima had a match. So for
Yeah.
those unaware, Hyper Misao is basically a superhero who, it's like the Hurricane in female form, I guess. Is that a good
Yeah.
way to describe it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way of describing it.
Tapos Shoko Nakajima, I love her character. It's the best. It's basically,
kaiju.
I think I'm Godzilla's sister.
She is the biggest kaiju, as she claims.
Despite the fact that her height is like 4'10".
Yeah.
Tama ba? She's
4'10",
like
4'11".
4'11", mga ganun.
Yeah.
Tapos,
So like I'm slightly taller than her.
Tapos her entire gimmick is that she's a giant.
Yeah.
Tapos, I think the fun part about this backstory is naging partner sila because Hyper Misao won this gimmick match wherein I think you have to open the gashapon. It was a gashapon match in January 4.
Yeah.
Tapos may napanalunan legit, like I'm not kidding, it's a gashapon match. Like
So,
you
like,
go to one
all
corner.
over the ring, they tied
Oo.
like the gashapon cubes, and then paunahan sila mag-open. And then the first 2-3 na makakuha ng paper inside the
Parang
gashapon
golden
would be
ticket,
the
di ba?
win. Yeah.
Tapos, ay, nauna si Hyper Misao, the superhero. So, pinilit niya si Shoko Nakajima maging superhero, which is very ironic kasi nga, she's a kaiju now who had to become a superhero. It's very weird. It's like, it's like Godzilla suddenly becoming Ultraman. Parang ganun. It just doesn't work. But somehow they made it work. And now they're a tag team against the Bakuretsu sisters.
Yeah,
Who
so
are legit.
for that match, whoever wins has to like lose their name for a month.
Oh my god. So it's gonna be like, we
So
have to
that
lose.
yeah, so like when Nakajima lost and I forgot her name. I think it was Shin Shoko Nakajima because of
Yeah,
Team
Shoko or
Godzilla.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shin Hyper like some like you
Because
can tell sobrang weeb ni Shoko Nakajima by doing that kasi it's such a weeb thing to do, add like Shin Hyper Ultra Shoko or something like that.
yeah,
Something
that
like
was
that.
in that match. She brought out like figurines of kaijus,
Yeah, I saw
like
that
not
part.
even the not well known kaijus like
Mm,
Anguirus. He was part
like
of the figurines there. So I think it really was Nakajima's toys used as the
mm,
weapons.
grabe. Man, Liger would lose his mind. Jushin Liger, the biggest Godzilla fan, would lose his mind. Like legit, like sa Twitter ngayon recently, diba? Si Jushin Liger had a encounter with Godzilla in the
Yeah, yeah.
wrestling ring. Tapos,
Oh,
sobrang nag-fanboy siya. I loved it so much. It's like, he's such a precious tito. Like, I
Liger
still
is
can't
just
believe
enjoying retirement right now.
yeah.
He's just
Like, I still can't believe we don't
happy.
have a video of, Liger with Shoko Nakajima just for the fun. Kasi nga, diba, I'm sure Liger would believe na Shoko Nakajima is a giant kaiju. Like, come
Yeah.
I
on.
think it's inevitable at this point.
Has to happen.
Someday.
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 One
Someday.
day,
All
Fingers
right. Now
especially
crossed.
Liger goes
Mhm.
around, so
Yeah.
he's
Yeah. Like,
gonna encounter.
nobody's gonna stop Liger from moving around. Come on. It's Liger.
I don't
The
think he
dude
can
has done.
stop. Yeah,
He invented the shooting star press. Diba? Like, you just can't
the guy
stop the
was the
man.
ultimate junior for a
Sobra,
long
man.
time.
4 decades, tama ba? 80s, 90s, 2000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
and
90s,
yeah, and who could
2000s,
argue
10s.
against his fire entrance music?
Mhm.
Please.
That's true. That's true. All
Having
right.
heard it live, sobrang ganda ng cheers ng mga tao when his music hits. Like everyone was just like, "Oh, it's him."
Parang was this when you watched before the pandemic started?
No, kasi he retired na when I saw nung before the pandemic. I saw him nung
Hmm.
G1. He was with Jeff Cobb.
Oh
Nice.
yeah. So this wasn't the match where he was in a tag with Rey Mysterio and Tanahashi. Was that like in the US?
I think US yun.
Okay. All right. All right. So, man, that is crazy. And now I think this is a DDT match because it's Damnation versus the 37 Kamina and Chris Brooks representing the Neo Ito Respect Army.
Okay,
Oh
so
god. All right. You take the
so
floor because your shirt says Damnation. I will let you take the floor.
okay, so fun thing about here is the 37 Kamina is actually read as Sauna Kamina.
Oh.
We don't know where the sauna came from even if we ask Shun Makatsumata who is the leader.
Is that why he's
Pero
is that why he's been promoting a sauna on Twitter this whole time?
yeah, technically tapos he's also registered sauna instructor.
Ay,
That's the
wow.
term.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow,
That's
that's
cool.
fun.
All right, keep
So,
going.
so like he does like sauna stuff tapos until he incorporated it to a new unit with his friends na he brings with him to sauna places.
Pero, like, no joke like, if you guys follow Shun Makatsumata on Twitter, grabe, ang ganda ng sauna na yun Like,
Yeah.
no joke. Like, the view is amazing. Like, if I had the money, I would go to that sauna. Like, if there was no pandemic right now, I'd go there, man. I'd go there. Super, super
He,
nice views.
he
And
goes
then, grabe,
everywhere.
yeah. And then, diba, like, I kind of understand now the context behind why he had like this bathhouse match against Takagi for the
Extreme belt.
DDT Extreme Belt. Yeah, he had he can't swim. Tama ba? He can't
He
swim.
He
But
can.
his literal gimmick is he's like a water Pokemon who can't swim. Diba? Sauna instructor, like, puro water yung mga ginagawa niya, but he can't swim. So,
A fish
yung
that
match
couldn't
against
swim,
Takagi.
basically.
Sorry?
Fish that couldn't swim.
Exactly.
That's
So imagine mo yung match
beautiful.
niya is Takagi against Takagi was in a bathhouse na puro tubig. Tapos kahit yung sobrang shallow pool lang, nauupo ka lang,
They're trying to
natakot
drown
na
each
siya.
other there.
Oh, they're trying to drown each other in like a 2-foot pool or something, like 3-foot pool. Sobrang babaw. Sobrang
It's dangerous still.
Still, but
it's
Yeah.
still risky.
But
Yeah.
he can't swim. Kasi he can't swim, di ba? Tapos, ayun. So, yun yung sobrang random. But I think one of the guys we should be looking out for here is probably Chris Brooks because he's so tall.
Oh my God. Okay, so
It's like
eto pa.
6'6", 6'4".
Yeah, he's super tall. Okay, here's fun thing about this team. Kasi Chris Brooks and Shunma have a very long history. Kasi they had a singles match before. I'm not sure if it was for a title. Pero Chris threatened to kill Shunma. And like, how typical wrestling does it. Na, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy. And then he accidentally got banned from Twitter for saying that.
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
So
Yeah,
this has-
I mean, taking it out of context of wrestling promos, that's yeah, of course.
so
So, I'm gonna share the screen. Go ahead. Keep telling the
okay, so
celebration.
after that, nagkaroon na sila ng super long history na Chris would always be mean to Shunma, even if Shunma's like trying to be nice to him and all. Pero Chris won the Extreme Belt recently from Shunma Katsumata then. And
Nice.
it was a casket match. Tapos, he literally closed the casket on Shunma with nails.
Now, if we're
It
talking
was a
about the
fun
height
match.
of Chris, and now for those viewing at home on the screens, if you look at this match, Antonio Honda's like what, 5'7", 5'8", mga ganun,
Yeah.
5'9"?
Yeah.
And look at
around
the
that.
height difference between himself and Chris Brooks.
That's the head on shoulder difference is
Exactly. It's
telling,
crazy.
of his
And I think
height.
he's an
So,
army. I'm not sure.
He is.
Parang army Chris Brooks. Okay. Yeah.
He
Anyway,
is.
yun. Chris Brooks
I think his
is
main
super
fan
tall.
is J-Hope.
He's like, ayun.
He
Here,
is.
here's the
Pretty much the
perfect
conclusion.
picture to represent the height difference. Look how low the camera has to go to show Chris Brooks with Antonio Honda. It's like, ang laki ng height difference. Like, you imagine mo, you need to get
Especially
some...
next to Maki Ito.
Oh my God. Yes.
guy literally stands out pretty much.
Oh yeah, like, there was this tag team. There was this death match. I think na parang Kamiyu and Maki Ito were on opposing teams, and that creepy knee fetish, which I still get creeped out by, against the team of Maki Ito, Chris Brooks, and Asushi Onita. It's like, what the fuck? The weirdest free match I ever saw on a
Sushi
demo.
Onita.
No joke.
Yeah,
no joke.
It was an
Yeah.
explosive death match.
Yeah,
Explosion
like,
death
I
match.
still don't know how they make those barbed wire death matches work without them getting hurt, but I'm sure there's a way. Now we just don't know about some magic.
I think they get hurt kasi whenever an explosion happens, there's always some guys who are ready with bottled water to like put out and make it para hindi sila masyado ma-injured sa katawan, and then you can literally see them pouring water over their fellow wrestler.
Yeah, those explosions are just like quick flashes. So, oh man, those hurt a lot. Yeah,
And it's
that's
a
me
big
being squeamish
explosion.
at death matches again. So I think I need to binge on death matches at this point.
Parang yung okay lang sa match na yun kasi was that it was kind of comedic, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. But like, it's not as crazy as that one time na parang nasa isang building sila. Tapos, Chris Brooks blocked a baseball shot, electrified barbed wire baseball bat
Yeah.
na shot to protect Maki Ito. That was like insane. Kasi nasa stairwell ka na medyo narrow space. Then you're gonna do that kind of explosion. That was like really dangerous in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like I don't know why these wrestlers like it, but you know, it's their thing. Like let it be. Pero parang sobrang, I guess it's just not
People
my
enjoy.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the thing about wrestling kasi is like you have to like choose whatever makes you comfortable enough. Like if you're gonna like get into something, might as well get into something that you'd enjoy and not be squeamish about.
All right. The next up, okay, this is crazy. 14 man tag team match.
14.
And the best with the best stipulation ever.
Oh my god.
Best stipulation ever. Okay, so the backstory is Keno, the leader of Congo, which is one, I think the only big stable in Noah, tama ba? Or do you think the only big stable?
I think M's Alliance comes close.
Okay. But like
The
one of the big, kasi they don't have, like
Yeah.
Noah doesn't have as many stables as like New Japan, diba? Or like,
Yeah.
Does no one still have Sugiro-gun?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, of course, man. They're selling like hotcakes. Anyway, the backstory here is Keno was the leader of Congo, was supposed to appear in a show against Sanshiro Takagi. Was it a singles match? Tama ba or no?
No. Technically, Keno came to DDT last year pa.
Yeah.
Keno is like super paranoid kasi his character. He's like, there's a conspiracy against me.
Sami
And
Zayn, basically.
Yeah. So like after
But
the
much better looking.
So like after the CyberFight thing got announced that there's gonna be a big merge, he came after Takagi and then they fought in like a 6-man tag during the DDT Wrestle Peter Pan, which can be compared as like the WrestleMania of DDT.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And then for this year naman, the setup for this match was like Keno got COVID. Like legit, he got COVID, and like a couple of his teammates also got COVID. I forgot who exactly, but I think there were 3 more members of Congo who got infected with COVID. Tapos, Keno came by after one match of DDT's recent No People show. And he was saying sorry to Takagi. And then Takagi was getting pissed off kasi it wasn't like him. And then him getting pissed off Keno. And then Takagi tried to hit Keno. And then Keno strike back. And then when Keno strike back, Sakaguchi came out. So
and who is Sakaguchi?
Yukio Sakaguchi is from Eruption. He is former tag belt champions naman. Tapos, along with him in this match is Kazusada Higuchi, his other Eruption member. Tapos, they will be facing off Congo. So, an interesting matchup here would be Sakaguchi and Keno, given na they both do MMA style.
Oh.
Tapos,
nice.
Same with Katsuhiko Nakajima, who is like legit master of the kicks. For me, his kicks super loud and like super great to watch.
Now, I forgot to add the stipulation here because we got so deep, took a deep dive. The stipulation here is probably the funniest thing I've ever read. Whoever wins this match becomes the president of CyberFight.
Oh, wow.
So, no joke. So it's Sanshiro
right there.
Takagi versus, essentially, it could be a singles match, but I'm guessing, for safety rin, kasi nga lungs ni Keno from COVID.
Yeah.
So it's essentially Keno versus Sanshiro Takagi for ownership of CyberFight. So, like, What the hell, man?
Okay, so
It doesn't.
for that info, I think it was worth noting na Takagi has lost ownership of DDT like way before in 2018 when Dino 2017 during
Mhm.
Judgment, I think. He lost ownership to DDT. So if your money is on Keno to win, I wouldn't hold it against you.
Plus, come on. I mean, a comedy wrestler versus a serious wrestler like Keno. Like, this is gonna be a nice way for Keno to break out the comedic skills. Kasi Noah doesn't do as many comedy shows, diba?
Yeah.
So, this is gonna be a very interesting matchup just between the two of them palang.
Yeah.
So, very exciting. And now, we are down to the last 4 matches.
The big. I
Um,
think this is the big guns again.
Oh yeah, the big gun. Oh, very big guns na to. So the tag team match between who I believe is basically the Kazuchika Okada of Noah, but still not there yet. Konti pa.
Yeah.
Yeah, their
Kaito
future.
Kiyomiya. Yeah, exactly. The future of Noah. Kaito
Yeah.
Kiyomiya and Yoshiki Inamura versus again the Sauna Kamina. Recent AEW wrestler Konosuke Takeshita and Yuki Ueno. It's the future of Noah versus the future of DDT.
Yes.
How do you describe this? Is this a handsome battle? Is this like what is this? Abs battle?
Okay,
Tight,
so
Pretty much a
tight
handsome
shorts
battle.
battle? Like is it a battle between who has the tighter shorts between Takeshita and Kaito?
okay, so aside from it being a very handsome battle, it is
Yeah.
basically the future of DDT versus the future of Noah. So
Mm.
Konosuke Takeshita is like super young. I think he's only 25 or 26. I forgot. Pero ayan, he's like super young and he has been dubbed as the future by Kenny Omega before he
Wow.
left for NJPW.
That's crazy.
So like this boy has been wrestling. During his career, he has already wrestled against Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Mm.
Very notable name. I think he wrestled him after he graduated high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
insane.
prodigy levels.
So yeah, Take is like super young pa right now. Pero it is also worth noting na his debut match was against El Generico.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So
That's
you know that this
and
kid
I looked
has
him
like
up.
yeah. So like from the
He's like
start,
6'3", diba? He's like 6'3",
yeah,
tama ba?
6'3",
Taller than
6'2".
Kenny,
Yeah.
diba?
Yeah, and he's like super big, super muscular. Tapos, he can fly. Like despite his height, he can do high flying moves if he wanted, and that
Like
is
jumping from an
really
office.
yeah, and, like that's really scary because
Oh.
he's like super big, and then he can also do high flying moves, and
Mm.
then at the same time he can also lariat you.
Oh.
That would like send you flying. So like if
Mm.
you've seen his AEW match when he used the blue thunder bomb from Sami Zayn. So
Mm.
yeah, his history with El Generico is like super deep, and he
Mm.
got the approval of El Generico like first match in palang.
Wow. Man. To think that
This
man
guy
is now
is
taking
already
care of orphans in
decorated at
Mexico.
25. I
Yeah,
can't
he
believe
is.
it. It's
Yeah.
like
Grabe, no?
he's
Like
a
very...
four-time KOD champion. That's
Mhm.
Oh, God.
before even not even turning 30. And
Yeah.
he has won pretty much
Most
almost
number of
everything in Noah.
defenses.
In Noah. DDT, I mean.
He has most number of defenses
Wow.
for the
That's
KOD belt also.
Mm.
And then
Yeah, and
Judy,
his,
no?
I think
his
he's just getting started in
He
his
Yeah, I
is.
think
career.
he's just getting started.
he is. His partner naman is Yuki Ueno, his high
Mm.
school classmate.
Wow.
So they have
Wow.
Wow.
long history naman between these two. Ueno is like recently rising pa lang. He came into DDT a bit later than Take. Kasi Take really wanted to be a wrestler, and then Ueno like just followed him like a year or something after. Is they're friends. Tas ang nakakatawa pa dyan is yung history nila, like during high school, Take was the nerd and Ueno was like super popular.
Mm.
And then for their opponent naman would be Kaito Kiyomiya and then Yoshiki Inamura. So fun fact about Yoshiki Inamura naman is he is a former member of Congo. He left lang recently. Um he I think he left last year, kalagitnaan ng 2020. He joined Kaito Kiyomiya and then they have tried to go after the belt of the tag champs of heavyweight division ng NOAH.
Nice. Oh my god. But I think yeah, one thing interesting about this match is it's the future. It's like
Yeah.
every like these guys have like I think all four of these guys have at least a decade
Mhm.
left to just go at it and then
Yeah, I think for them Take has like the most advantage if you look at it. I mean, si Kaito Kiyomiya, he has held the NOAH GHC heavyweight belt. Pero if you look at their history, I think Take has the most advantage over Kaito.
I
But
think
then
yeah,
again,
because I think Take has like more big match experience.
yeah, because he has been at the main event for so long. Like he has defended against many very notable names and had matches with them. Like ayun nga, si Tanahashi. So and like he did it like when he was like still super young and new to his career.
Amazing, really amazing
Mhm.
Yeah.
career so far. So,
It's
okay,
insane.
next match is Yuka Sakazaki for the
All right.
Princess of Princess Championship. That's fun.
All right.
Uh,
How do we like explain this without going overboard? Because we are now at an hour. Grabe, no? We it's such a long event. We're not even
yeah.
halfway through.
Okay.
Um, Go ahead, Shane. Could you explain to us the backstory behind Miyu Yamashita versus Yuka Sakazaki? Why is this such an important match for TJPW?
Okay, so one of the people who started TJPW, like one of the first few who were signed was like Miyu Yamashita, and she has long improved and has been the ace of TJPW. She has been dubbed as the ace. Tapos Yuka Sakazaki is like well known naman for AEW fans. You might have
Yeah.
heard of her. Tapos despite this Yuka Sakazaki has more wins, if I am correct, against Miyu Yamashita.
Mm,
So Miyu, wanting to be like the mega champ, challenged Yuka Sakazaki on this big stage to prove why she is the ace of TJPW.
nice, nice. All right. So furthermore, we move on to the next match, which is a DDT match. So maganda yung layout ng final three matches. It's
Mm-hmm,
TJPW, DDT, and then Noah.
mm-hmm,
So this match is the second to last match is from DDT, which is the
mm-hmm.
KOD openweight title match featuring Jun Akiyama, the champion, versus Harashima. Shane, could you please explain to us who is Jun Akiyama and who is Harashima?
Okay. So Jun Akiyama is well known for his time in AJPW.
Hmm.
He can be considered as the fifth pillar, if I am correct, of wrestling.
Mhm.
So for those well known, the four pillars of Japanese pro wrestling, he's like the sun technically. So he's considered as the fifth pillar. So he's a really well known name all over
Mm.
Japan. And he came to DDT last year as a guest coach, and then he signed a contract with DDT after he won the KOD open weight belt, which is the top belt for DDT. Then
Mm.
he will be against Harashima, who is a very well known guy in DDT who has been with them for years. He is former KOD openweight champ also. He has held the extreme belt and the KOD openweight belt before at the same time. Um,
Wow.
he has had many matches with guys like Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Kudo, Yukio Sakaguchi, and those were like really famous. For me, he is still underrated because people don't really pay much attention to DDT, but he's really good. And for me personally, I'll be cheering for Harashima, even though I like Jun Akiyama as a champ, because it's basically the new guy versus the ace of DDT.
Nice, nice. All right, saying hi to the people on Twitch. By the way, I was surprised. Saying hi to Melee, Lian Laria, and Jay Bede.
Hi
Um,
guys.
we explained who is Akito already, so that's cool. Thank you so much for dropping
Wait,
by on
Steven, by
Twitch.
the way, that's J Bead.
J Bead, sorry, kala ko
Yeah.
J Bede, sorry. J Bead. Using a Twitch emote that looks kind of like Brandy Rhodes. I think.
I
I don't know.
I am not sure.
I could not
Hi
look at it
guys. Thank you so
close.
much for
Hi
staying
guys.
tuned, man.
Hello, welcome
All right.
to the Twitch
So now
chat.
on to our main event, which is probably the most what's the term? Divisive, maybe. um,
Oh look,
Bye.
it's
it's the
Marufuji trying
G.
to save Noah again.
Uh,
That didn't come from me.
okay, okay. Okay. Shane goes first, and then Jude.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is the main event of CyberFight Festival in Saitama Super Arena. It's the champion. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's so weird to say it. The GHC heavyweight champion, a 50-something-year-old Keiji Muto who can barely move his knees, against a guy who can also barely move his knees, Naomichi Marufuji. Um, how do you explain this match? Shane, please take the floor.
Okay, so Keiji Muto is part of the EMS Alliance, which is led by his opponent Naomichi Marufuji. So that's already one way of starting it because they are stablemates. So
Here.
Keiji Muto won the GHC Heavyweight Championship belt over Go Shiozaki recently lang. Go Shiozaki has led the Noah promotion all throughout this 2020 pandemic year. Um, after Keiji Muto won, he defended against our baby ace, as I like to call him, Kaito Kiyomiya.
Yeah. Mm.
And then he has also fought one of the members of Congo, who is
Wow.
Masa Kitamiya. He is the
Mm.
big guy, and like one of the promotion for that match was like it was like a big kaiju battle because of how big both Muto and
Mm.
uh, him is. So after that match, Keiji Muto was asked who he will be defending the GHC heavyweight belt for the big show, and then
Mm.
he said Naomichi Marufuji, despite being at from the same stable.
Yeah.
And then the thing with them is okay, they said na they're still friends and still stablemates whoever wins. Pero we will see. I
Mhm.
mean, it's Japanese wrestling, so it's common na you get to see stablemates fight for the belt and still be friends after it.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you're, Katsuhiko Nakajima and Go Shiozaki.
Oh.
Oh.
That kind of hurt.
Oh.
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
not that familiar with it. When I saw that, that hurt. I saw it on my feed. That was painful stuff.
Yeah. This like
All
funny
right.
thing about that was Axis was my getaway into getting into Noah because I thought they were a really cute team. And then I saw them break up.
Oh, sad.
So yeah.
All right, Jude, what do you think of this match? It's like a generation versus generation match talaga eh. Sa
Yeah.
tingin.
Well, you can say Marufuji along with the likes of Go Shizaki and Takashi Sugiura. Like
Mhm.
they're like the goats of Noah. They're like the best of the best.
Yeah.
Mm.
Especially during the 2010s, they're the guys who carried that promotion
Hmm.
all the way. That was and Marufuji. We already talked about his impressive resume Now we can talk about Keiji Muto, who's, you know, where hasn't he been? This guy has his own wrestling promotion. This guy
Formerly.
is IWGP heavyweight champion. This guy is triple crown heavyweight champion, and winning the GHC, he completed his triple championship run on the big
Mhm.
three promotions of Japan.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, like this guy is a legend. He's one of the greatest of all time in Japanese wrestling.
He
Um,
is.
even though like his knees are pretty much done, I don't know how can he still do how he still does his shining wizard
Oh
with
man.
knees like that. But hey, that's still his finisher. I remember I was on a Muto binge at some point,
Mm.
just because he's one of the guys that I somehow one of the older guys that I really appreciate.
Mhm.
But yeah, despite that, he's getting there in age, and for some reason he's still champion. Um,
Yeah.
find it interesting that faction mates fighting over a title belt. It's more common in Japanese wrestling than Western or elsewhere, so that's interesting. But this is a battle of impressive resumes, and this is really
Mhm.
great. I would, I wish Marufuji would win.
Yeah.
Eiji Muto has been there for a long time, and this is like one last big run for him. And hats off to a career. Honestly, like
Yeah.
this guy has been every to thick and thin. Really great run, and I think if this is his last big title, hats off.
Mhm.
Mm.
What a career! What a way to go out as well.
Mhm.
Finally finishing the trifecta of Japanese wrestling, so that's good. And for
Mm.
Marufuji, and it's him. Hey, it's I guess it's me again trying to win this title from someone who's not a Noah guy
Yeah.
technically.
Mm.
So in a sense, it's like super similar to how the KOD open weight match is. Na parang
Yeah,
it's the battle for like the challengers are like battling for their company. Kasi parang
Mm.
oh these guys they just came in yet they're the ones leading our company. But at the same time, Jun Akiyama has embraced that he is part of DDT naman.
yeah.
And
Nice.
I think so did Muto.
Yeah, in a way,
And,
Muto, I think, yeah, well, that's, I think you can just say he's Muto,
yeah.
it's hard to stop this guy.
Yeah.
Mm. All right. Now, before we continue, I want to talk about Shopee's upcoming 6.6 and 7.7 sale. Just use our link tinyurl.com/ShopeeTGJ. That's SHOPEETGJ, and you can get vouchers and discounts and more on Shopee's 6.6 sale. All right. Now, for the last part of the show, I wanted to talk about a wrestler that we dearly miss because she could have been that bridge for a lot of people for sure. She could have been the bridge for a lot of non-wrestling fans to become wrestling fans. Considered one of the most nice, kind people in wrestling.
Yeah.
Um, I never met her, um, but Shane has met her, so I'm gonna leave her to the floor. The Hana Kimura Memorial show. Shane, why don't we start with your story of meeting Hana Kimura?
Okay, so I went to Japan, not really planning to see Stardom, pero
Mm.
things kind of turned kasi I was planning on seeing Ice Ribbon, but
Yeah.
their show was like outside Tokyo, if I'm correct.
Mm.
So I had to be up like super early that day to catch
Mm.
the train so I can make it to the show. Kaso I woke up late and then I decided since I was like super near naman the venue, I said, you know what? All right. I'm gonna go see Stardom.
Mm.
It's like a station away from where I was staying.
Mm.
And then yeah, so I got a ticket on the day itself. Tapos I managed to see very some notable names like
Mm.
Arisa, who has
Ah.
recent, yeah. So
Oh, yeah, she
who
retired na rin, diba?
yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Uh, um yeah, so that the match of hers was with Konami and Kiona.
Oh, man.
So it was against Uedo Tai, and it was for the Artist of Stardom belt,
Yeah.
the
Nice.
six man belt. Yeah. So yeah, I came and saw her. I actually said, you know what? If I'm here, I wanted to meet her because she was what got me into Stardom. So
Mm.
I met her. She was super nice. Um, I was like one of the first few people on the line.
Mm.
That was like ahead of me was like this little sweet girl dressed up in like the same gear that she was wearing.
Oh.
And like I think she was
Wow.
around
Oh
four
my
or five.
God.
And Hannah knew her. So like as soon as Hannah got there, Hannah was already waving hi at everyone and
Oh.
then at the little girl, and she's like kneeled down to the little girl's height, gave her a hug.
Oh.
And she was super sweet. She took her time, like despite Stardom people like telling her na you have to hurry up because the line was long, and
Yeah.
like so ayan, I was lucky enough na I was like the second person in line. So
Mm.
when I got to her, she immediately spoke English. She,
Alam niya. May
yeah.
sense ka agad siya na foreigner to.
Yeah. So I was very nervous about it. I was stammering over my words. So
Mm.
I was like, "Hi, Hannah-chan. My name is Shane." She was like super nice. She called me Shane Chan. Tapos sabi ko, I told her na I came here to see you
Mm.
today, and she was super happy about it. She like did a very excited squeal, like how teenage girls do
Yeah.
when they're
Yeah.
excited, like they do a little squeal. And it was so cute because like she's so attentive of what you're gonna say to her.
Mm.
She has this biggest smile, and like she just radiates comfort. Like when you're talking to her, she's like the sweetest person ever.
Mm.
Tapos, I was telling her na I was nervous to meet her, and she was super happy that I was able to see her. Tapos, I bought two photos with her.
Mhm.
So, the first photo is this one. Hold
Oh.
on. Eh. So, she was holding my head kasi
Awesome.
I was super nervous talaga. As in, like, my hands were shaking. And, like,
Mm.
this was, like, the time na super cold in Japan because it was February.
Oh yeah,
So,
it's like negative
Oh,
3 or
yeah.
something.
yeah. So it was super cold. That was like I was super nervous about meeting her. And she was like, "It's okay." And like she gave me a big hug. That was
Oh.
like the Stardom people, the staff, they were telling me na to hurry up. Because like there was really a long line. That was
Mm,
like
mm.
I think they were trying to be polite na parang hurry up. That was
Yeah.
Hannah was like, it's so she was super sweet. She was still talking to me after one
Oh.
photo, and then
Mm.
after that photo, she gave me a big hug. So yeah, this is
Oh.
our
That's
second photo.
awesome.
So like she's super sweet, and I was
Mm.
supposed to like go to her autograph session for that
Yeah.
day because I bought a portrait of her, which was her new gear.
Ah, mm, mm.
Yeah. So I was supposed to meet to get her to sign that. Kaso I got the times mixed up for Gato Move show. So I
Mm.
had to leave kasi I thought the station was from Korakuen to
Yeah.
Ichigaya.
Yeah.
And then it turns out it was just like 5 or 10 minutes away
Oh,
by train.
man.
So like I didn't get to meet her na after. Pero like after
Mm.
the meet and greet when I was telling Hannah goodbye, she
Mm.
told me that it was super nice to meet me, and then gave me a hug, and then she told me na I'll see you later. And then I surprised her and said, Jane. which is like see
Oh,
you later in Japanese.
that's nice.
So like she was so happy, and then she pulled me in for another hug, and then that's when I that's when I left. I think the Stardom staff were like, "Oh no, she took up so much time," because they were like
Oh.
making me hurry up, and I felt
Mm,
bad. But like Hannah
mm,
was like taking her time to like talk to me and all, and she was super
mm,
sweet about it. She's like
mm,
legit one of the sweetest person you will ever meet.
mm. Grabe. I don't have that kind of story at all. Mine's more of a missed opportunity kasi around the time, early February, nasa Nagoya kami. And literally the weekend that we got there, Konami and Jungle Kiona were gonna have a signing in this like a geek shop, anime shop,
Mhm.
where they sell mga New Japan shirts. There's a signed Okada standee and stuff. Kasi nga, Kazuchika Okada's from Nagoya. Turns out Jungle Kiona is also from Nagoya. And they were having a signing, and I was like in the back of my head, I was like, should I go? Should I not? I just feel bad because our parents
Oh
paid for the
no.
trip, not me. Like, I felt so guilty. Tapos pala, they had the signing and everything. I feel like I should have gone talaga kasi yun nga, wala, like TCS is forever, but ayun, parang sayang lang kasi na-miss ko yung opportunity na maybe get a picture with them nung tag team pa sila.
Yeah.
And that was right around the time na sobrang nag-rise in popularity ni Hana Kimura.
Yeah, because
Uh,
she joined
that
Terrace
show.
House.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there's house. Sadly, she lost her life because of those fucking idiots. And now we're gonna have a
Memorial show for
memorial
her.
show tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
I think this show was done so that to help her mom Kyoko Kimura pay for fees,
Yeah, legalities.
legal fees, also hopefully justice, because the Japanese government does not know how to handle cyberbullying properly. Tama ba yung parang isang person daw who cyberbullied her was only paying like 12,000 yen or something, some really small amount.
Yeah, I think
Like he's not even going to prison.
yeah. The second
Diba?
one I think is the one going to prison.
It's stupid.
Pero,
It's
yeah.
stupid. Diba? Parang this girl was the future of wrestling. Like nobody in Stardom could match her potential. Was she the best wrestler? That's debatable. But she could have been the bridge for a lot of people. Like my girlfriend found out about um, Hana Kimura through Terrace House, and like this happens, and like I don't know, it's just so fucked up how wrestling fans lost one of the best, brightest stars in wrestling.
And she was so young.
Yeah, she was 23. Like fuck, man, fuck.
Yeah.
So now we have this memorial show where it's crazy because some wrestlers who retired, including the former leader of Oedo Tai Kagetsu, like she totally dropped the character na, diba, when she retired.
Yeah.
But for this show, Kagetsu's coming back as Kagetsu, in tribute of Hana Kimura. There's also Ram Kaicho, who is a childhood friend, tama ba, of Hana Kimura or something?
I think yeah.
Yeah. Parang, I remember there's this Twitter thread kasi that shares all the details of the people who will appear.
Mhm.
I think there's also Asuka/Veni,
Yeah.
who is the first transgender wrestler, tama ba?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Mm.
The first open one.
Yeah, the first openly transgender wrestler in Japan that we know of right now. And yun nga, many more are people. I was surprised because Jungle Kiona is gonna appear because
Yeah.
she was, I think, the last person who saw Hana.
Yeah.
Tama ba? Yeah.
Yeah. Technically, yeah.
Yeah. So this is gonna be hard. She's gonna appear on the show. I don't know if she's gonna wrestle, Probably not, because Kyon is
He's
still
still
injured.
recovering.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
recovering from injury. Um, man, I could go on a rant about how she should have been Wonder of Stardom champion, World of Stardom champion by now, but Rosie Ogawa and his very odd booking and all. That's for another show. Yeah, like all of her close friends are coming, and it's just crazy because we shouldn't be celebrating the show right now. She should be, at the very least, the white belt champion of Stardom right now.
Yeah.
Like she was gonna have a big feud with Julia about who's the better Hafu. um, could have been a thing. Who knows? That maybe could have brought Julia to a mainstream audience.
Yeah.
So many things that could have been. But yeah, the show is available on Fight TV for tomorrow. What time is it again? 10 a.m. tomorrow?
Yeah, it is 10 a.m. on our
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. And yeah, this is, I think, tama ba, part of the proceeds of the show will go to help Kyoko Kimura's legal fees.
Yeah.
Tama ba? Yeah.
I think not just part, I think all of it.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah. So it's crazy because, again, we should not be celebrating this show because this shouldn't be happening. But, hardcore, obsessive. God, I can't believe I'm saying this, pero in general, kasi a lot of East Asian fans tend to go overboard talaga eh.
Yeah.
Not just Japanese wrestling fans, but like, K-pop fans do it sometimes. Some K-pop fans do it. Like, it's so extreme. Like, I don't want to end this show on a downer, but I feel
I
like
guess
it's the
we can
topic
just
we
say
should talk
it's
about.
it's toxic fan culture affecting
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything negatively. So that's one.
yeah. All right. So for the last part, I guess we could talk about a very much lighter situation, sort
Yeah.
of.
Okay.
We talked about so a lot of wrestlers recently in New Japan got COVID. Sadly.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. I think I can say that after like months, I think a year, a good part of the year, they were able to keep their processes clean.
yeah.
They kept sanitize every event. So
Yeah.
the cases were kept to a minimum, but um due to an uptick in cases in the country in general, and
Mm.
how the state of emergency was handled months ago, I think
Mm.
it just affected. It was it there was an outbreak, so there were a couple of wrestlers who are infected, and that
Mm.
caused New Japan to suspend a good amount of their shows for the past weeks of May, and
I think almost the
they're only
entirety of
coming
May,
back
diba?
almost, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
coming back in 2 days. The road to WrestleSlam, but yeah,
yeah.
unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because they were able to keep their cases to a minimum until this
This
happened.
Till
So
happened.
that was
recently. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was but you know I think New Japan, their efforts to keep their shows as safe and clean as possible is there. But yeah, it's just unfortunate circumstances just
Mm.
hitting them. And I think we can just transition to the IWGP World Champion situation because it's vacated. So
Yeah. So
we'll
as
And
also
not
much as
have
as
a
much
neck
as we
injury.
don't like that certain bird,
Yeah, we have to
um,
mention him. So
yeah,
he
that
has a neck injury. So it's
sadly,
severe enough that he couldn't defend it, and he's gonna be out for quite a while. Neck
yeah,
injuries
like we
take
don't know
so
how
much
long.
time. That's
well,
And sorry,
yeah.
go ahead, Shane.
So Osprey has his history naman with neck injury, so I guess
Yeah,
they're being careful, and
yeah,
yeah.
siguro
It's
he may not be our favorite person because of the things he did,
yeah,
yeah.
and maybe
Various.
I guess could be karma, pero yeah, he had to vacate the belt,
Yep.
and now we don't have a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, yeah. Go ahead,
yeah,
Drew.
the title situation is well, the title situation is kind of weird, but uh at this point there's nowhere to go but up because they still have a lot of great guys.
Yeah,
They could if New Japan is in this process of experimenting, like they tried Evil, they tried Osprey. I mean
Yeah.
they got Kota Ibushi to finally be their champion,
Yeah.
despite whatever happened. um they can try go for a new route. Shingo is there. They Shingo was close to becoming their champion
Yeah. That's
last
true.
time out. They could go with their safest bet, Okada. Like that's safe as safe can be, and you know, I don't think I don't think you can go wrong with Okada. You can go back to Naito. Um, who's also one safe bet. Like Okada Naito are always great bets to be champion. Especially Naito is having a bad year, and when Naito has a bad year, he somehow gets up and steps up and becomes their top guy out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Pretty
So
much.
that's
Hmm.
and there are many options, and this puts an interesting situation in New Japan's
Hmm.
hands. And
Yep.
you don't know how they're gonna respond yet because they're just recovering, especially like literally recovering from their suspended shows. So
Yeah.
they haven't announced anything yet. There's always the possibility of this being a G1 win. The G if
Who
putting this
knows?
in a G1,
Who
who
knows?
knows?
which would help shake things up. I would
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
to see that instead of a certificate, you get the championship outright.
Yeah.
That's always really a colorful way um to make things, especially when New Japan really needs something going right now.
Hmm.
Reception wise, it's weird. Like
Yeah.
it's an up and down thing, but
Hmm.
um yeah, this is a very interesting situation because you're gonna have there's so many possibilities, and
Yes.
it's exciting. Yeah, honestly,
mhm.
it's exciting. It's really it's it's just it's just a lot of possibilities, especially in a time that it's probably
Hmm.
needed. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
All
So I'm
right.
still
So,
hoping
go
na
ahead.
it would be Suzuki would be
Yes,
the next
Oh
please.
champ.
yeah, okay.
Yes,
Okay, I think
please.
that's one
It's like
thing.
I think
long
we all agree
overdue.
on that. We all agree on that. All right.
Yeah, I think the
We
fact,
take it
Shane, you
note.
said that Suzuki signed kind of gave me some reassurance that, oh my God, if Suzuki would win, it's probably gonna be the second time I'll cry in
Like,
a
dude, he
world
can
title
retire
match.
after that. I don't care.
Yeah, like I don't care if he holds it for a day. The fact that he
Yeah.
held it, he won it. Oh yes, just give it. That would be. I think it would be him matching Muto as well of winning
Tama ba? Has he
all
won the
three.
Triple Crown?
He has
No.
won the Triple Crown. Of
What?
course, he has won the GHC.
Yeah,
We've
he
Oh,
won
seen
the
that.
GHC.
Especially that was probably his noisiest big title reign because
mhm.
he took Noah hostage with his faction with Suzuki Gun,
Oh man, that was
and
such bad booking
that's
by Jado.
yeah. Unfortunately,
Mm.
that caused Noah and New Japan to pretty much not work
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
But Suzuki winning, yeah, of all the possibilities, that would be something I would love to see because that's all Suzuki needs. That's pretty much all that's left for him to conquer. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's the king of pro wrestling. That guy's the king. And
Yep.
just give him one last crown and ride off the sunset. If Keiji Muto gets to ride off the sunset with Noah with his GHC, give the IWGP title to Suzuki, and we'll be so happy.
Yeah.
Mm. That is it, I think, for this
Yeah.
episode of the Geeky Ones. CyberFight Festival, Hana Kimura, and the IWGP World Championship situation. Thank you so much, Shane Vergara, for
Yes.
informing us and educating us more about DDT. Because I'll be honest, we haven't been able to subscribe to
Yeah, we
Wrestle
have a
Universe yet.
huge backlog of Japanese wrestling to see.
Yeah,
I think I don't know where to start. I'll probably start with Choco Pro. I'll probably start with
it's free. Choco Pro's free
TJPW.
on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
Choco
my.
Pro is free on YouTube.
I mean, you
I'm
can support them
gonna.
with YouTube. What do you call that? YouTube something? Like you support them
Yeah,
by sending money via YouTube.
It's gonna be fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's a lot of things. DDT will always have will always have eyes on DDT just because of their comedy
Yep.
stuff. Because I think
Mm.
I think they're in terms of like Japanese promotions, they have like so much freedom to do what they
Yeah.
want. There's so
yeah.
much way to express how their wrestling is. So that's really
Mm.
fun.
All right, Shane, where can we find you on social media, by the way?
You can find me on Twitter as Black Hat Russo.
Mhm. All
And
right.
also you can find me on Instagram or Twitch as 8123 Shane.
All right.
So that's
That's Instagram and
8123
Twitch.
Shane. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
All right.
8123 Shane.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
All right. So after that, sorry, there's a showcase again. You can find her at Black Hat Russo on Twitter and 8123 Shane on Instagram and Twitch. All right. So followed by, let me just get the caption here. You could. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention our friends at Podmetrics. Get
Yeah,
more
of course.
accurate podcast statistics at podmetrics.co. Just use our code GeekyJuans at sign up and we get a little portion to help keep this podcast running.
Yeah, keep the podcast running, support us, and with Podmetrics, this allows you to help you analyze your show
Yep. And
even
earn money
better.
from your show.
Just keep your
Mm.
statistics. Basically keep everything in check, and that's
Yep.
really awesome.
All right. You could visit us at thegeekyjuans.com. You could
Yeah.
follow us at the Geeky Juans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you may be watching us on Twitch or YouTube right now.
Yeah.
And then the Geeky Juans podcast is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms. You can find me at Stevie Said Yup on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can find Jude Cruz at Jude Thomas Cruz on social media, and Dude It's Jude on Facebook.
Oh
One
yeah. By
last
the way,
round.
I'd like to mention I've been on stream with some friends, so I've been
Yes.
promoting the podcast on that.
Mhm.
I'll probably stream simultaneously for extra promotion. So
Nice.
just for the podcast. So that's really awesome stuff.
All
Yeah.
right, one last run through the comments, Jude, before we go.
Oh well, I can. My phone died, so
Oh,
that's one thing. That's one unfortunate scenario. But the Twitch chat is just saying, yeah, yay, let's go, hello.
Melee,
They've
I
been
think, really found the story of Shane and Hana Kimura very cute, so that's nice.
yeah, very cute. Yeah, they found that one really really fun, really interesting, and yeah, nice
R.I.P.
to
Hana
see
Kimura.
Twitch being really active right now. Thank you guys for watching.
Mhm. All right, so let me just check on Facebook to see if there's anybody who dropped by before we go.
Yeah.
Let's check. Man.
I think someone was asking about Yoshitatsu. I think I can answer that.
Okay.
Yoshitatsu is in NJPW, and he recently won the what do you call that? The Gaura TV Championship, his most recent win, and
Nice.
yeah, someone was asking that, and yeah, that was his status post WWE after of course his
Yeah.
there.
All right, so that's about it. Thank you to our friends, Jackie Arias. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Dirk Devanesha, Martin Vicencio, a friend of a mutual friend. We share mutual friends.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for dropping
you so
by
much for
and
watching,
asking
guys.
the Yoshitatsu question. Who is now in All Japan Pro Wrestling. So post AJ Styles, he's doing okay. He's doing okay.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
Thank
doing
you.
he's doing better. Yeah, he's doing
Yeah,
well.
thank
DJPW
you.
is good right now.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Lia and Ilaria. Thank you so much to Melee. Thank you so much to JB. Thank you so much for dropping by the Twitch chat. Thank you so much, man.
Awesome
Thank you
stuff.
guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
It was a
guys.
good show. Congrats on the success. All right, thank you guys. All right, so that is about it for the Geeky Ones with Shane Vergara. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.